Hello and welcome to DiverCity.
Hello. Hello and welcome to DiverCity.
This week's top stories are nicer, better and classier.
Let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to the special edition of DiverCity London. As some of you may know, our show was taken off the air due to an unfortunate incident. An unfortunate incident being that the show was terrible and no one watched it.
Hello and welcome.
Valentine fever has hit the city and we definitely have some surprises in store for you.
What's your Chinese sign?
I'm a dragon. What about you?
I'm a ship.
Good to know.
The low every day is 9, which is the high in London.
The weather is quite bad. It's going to be bad until Saturday. See ya.
Okay, sorry.
Then you should get a job.
Flash mob!
See ya.
See you later. Job.
The real winner is...
Test renew for DiverCity London.
But after many years of searching, we have finally found someone better, more qualified, and frankly, nicer to look at than the series of terrible hosts that this show had in the past. Please welcome our new star host, Ahmad. Yes, thank you. Oh, and our first report tonight takes us to the small Romanian town of Bambac, nowhere, for an unusual sports story, right? Okay.
Every year, the most skilled and drunken athletes travel from around the country to compete in the nationally renowned spelunking tournament. Armed with a pocket full of pebbles and a wicked sidearm, these drunk competitors terrorize the local frog population and enrage animal welfare groups. What began as a way for two drunk friends to pass the time has evolved into a wildly popular and beloved sport in this small Romanian village. But there's a little surprise for this year's competitors. Co-founder and world co-champion Vince Manencourt has been invited back to the village this year to celebrate. Unfortunately, Jonathan Shkorko could not make it as he is due to get married.
What?
Johnny!
So I've come back to the village where it all started, and it's incredible. We're super famous here. We're almost venerated as saints. I'm known as Pele of Spelunking, and Johnny's known as Sfantul Patron al Spelunking. It's beautiful. I've been partying non-stop. There are statues of Johnny everywhere. I almost don't want to break it to them that we've since found out that spelunking is a completely different sport to do with caves.
Sorry, our star reporter is taking a nap, hence the baby monitor. Where were we? Yes. The World Health Organization is urging the world leaders to finally get their shit together and end the pandemic, so that the Cyprus's leading health reporter could take a week off for her wedding. DiverCity has been looking at some efforts happening worldwide ahead of the Avxentiu Shkurko wedding. We can speak to Sarakshi Rai for more.
Across the world, efforts are ramping up to finally end this bloody pandemic. The WHO has for months been looking for ways for countries who are lagging behind in their vaccination efforts and experiencing high rates of transmission to finally get their shit together. Now, almost 2 years since the first coronavirus case was first detected in China, they found a way to rally people from across the globe.
Here at the Weird Health Organisation, we had tried a number of things. Health warnings, economic impact analysis. We even threatened to put everyone in a quarantine hotel that served only pineapple pizza. But nothing was working. We needed an international treasure. Someone to capture the hearts and minds of the world. We found that in Marula Shapula. Since we pointed out how the happiest day of her life depended on international travel resuming and the news cycle being quiet, everyone has come together.
And now to a scandal brewing in the UK, where British Home Secretary Priti Patel, I prefer to say Priti Patel has ordered the deportation of a group of international students following a drug scandal at a London university. Bernie de Busman has the story.
Police were called following reports of harassment by a group of students from City University London who were in the Finsbury Park neighborhood. The young men were allegedly trying to purchase khat, a narcotic shrub. A number of elderly Somali women reported being harassed by the young men in a supermarket who were repeatedly asking them if they could help them, quote-unquote, get the gear. They also attempted to purchase Congolese music from a Somali music store, further enraging the locals who pointed out that the Congo and Somalia are in fact two different countries. We spoke to one Somali local.
Dude, I'm from Togo.
Well, that's awkward. We spoke to one of the young men as soon as he was released from police custody.
I told you, I wasn't there. I always miss out on the joyous jokes.
We also heard of a peculiar incident involving a group of heavily intoxicated young men, one of whom was heavily biting into his wrist and yelling, "Blood brothers!" Do you know anything about that?
I told you, I'm never there. It's highly cataclysmic.
Fuel shortages, empty shelves, and panic buying have been widespread occurrences around the world as the pandemic continues to disrupt supply chains. But recently, even more unusual consumer behavior has been hitting some countries, leaving experts baffled. Stefano Pozzobo has more.
Thank you, Liana. We've been sent footage from several countries where some strange phenomena are occurring while empty shelves have been commonplace during the pandemic. Brits are now stockpiling tea at an exceptionally alarming rate, and some eyewitnesses in Italy have reported unusual cases of panic buying.
So, I was at the supermarket doing my normal shopping, and this guy with brown hair starts rushing in, and he just starts grabbing halloumi, grappa, confetti, bomboniere.
He would pretend he was about to sneeze, so that everyone would keep out of his way. He was apologising profusely the whole time, but kept on taking things.
But then suddenly he completely changed his voice, and he said, "If anybody asks who I am, tell them I'm Alessandra Bagelli." And he ran away. It was quite bizarre.
I'm just following orders. That's the traditional way to say.
Okay, I think this episode was a definite upgrade from our usual DiverCity shows. Mary and Jonny, we wish you the lifetime of happiness, and may you be both permanent co-hosts of your very own lifelong show.
In the end, who knows if we've improved? Regardless, Mary and Jonny, your love has grown, our friendship has grown, and we're all here in the end, and that's what counts. We love you.
Woo!